flower seeds into our snow cannons and just spread them.
Just had to think outside the box a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
As it melts and it leaches into the ground, it pulls the seeds down. There's moisture and warmth, and these seeds are germinating.
I could just my mind is just going wild thinking about all the applications.
Many times when you're driving through the mountains and you go, oh yeah, there's a ski hill because you see the ski runs. Well, that could be a pollinator passageway.
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
Snow is back.
Yeah, it is.
Hey. It's final day at the core downtown Calgary. This mall is just fantastic. It's right in the heart of downtown.
And we have the Devonian Gardens straight upstairs.
Oh, it's one of my favorite places in the city. It's great if you're looking to escape the cold weather outside. And there has been a lot of cold weather lately. We have gotten a lot of snow.
Yeah.
It feels like in Calgary,
Winter was hanging around and then it was
yeah, exactly. Usually around this time of year, Calgary's sort of brown and dry, but this year it's just full of snow, like white Christmas, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
My bird bath has a foot of snow on top of it. It's not being used for birds at the moment.
Nope. Can I give you one tip?
Yeah.
Did you flip your bird bath?
We did, yes.
You're the best. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is that a thing?
So if you don't flip, what happens is, especially in Calgary,
Yep.
It fills with snow. Then we get a Chinook. The snow melts. Then it freezes again. It cracks your bird bath.
Oh.
So you flip it upside down. So then any melt runs
Yeah.
off and doesn't sit in the basin.
Over in Vancouver, they actually have bird bath heaters, hey?
Whatever. They probably don't even need to turn them on. We're not going to talk about Vancouver. I'm not going to talk about Vancouver when it's -5 and snowing.
I know. But we do want to talk about snow this week because there's a great story that came out of Norway.
Yeah.
A way to sort of bring back wildflowers to our more wide open spaces.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
A non-intrusive way of doing it. It's mankind, humankind, whatever, developed the belt. They didn't develop the belt loops on trousers until the 1800s.
Yeah.
I can't think of not having belt loops now, right?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
They go together like PB&J.
Exactly. You're like, well, how did you used to do it? So we have artificial snow machines, right, for ski hills and mountains. Well, what they're doing in Norway is they're taking these and they're dumping in wildflower seeds.
Yeah.
And then they're spraying snow everywhere. And what happens is in the spring, the snow melts. And this is how these seeds travel naturally. Mm-hmm. As it melts and it leaches into the ground, it pulls the seeds down. There's moisture and warmth, and these seeds are germinating.
Yes.
So they are essentially covering these huge swaths of land, highway mediums, hillsides, barren areas, and it's little to no work. And they're not disturbing the existing soil. They're not breaking up anything. They're not causing more damage in order to get a good result.
Yeah, and it's like what you're saying, just had to think outside the box a little bit, right? It's obviously a heck of a lot easier than going out by hand or doing whatever in the spring and summer. And it's a really great way of adding to the biodiversity in those areas.
And I find it, and again, I only read the one article, but if you go out and I think I've definitely done this with lawn seed. Okay, so in a small area and in the spring, we're fixing somebody's lawn and you go to put down lawn seed and you throw it and the wind catches and blows it into the flower bed. You're like, son of a bitch. I know what I'm weeding in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You go out to these huge areas. We're talking, 100 square acres, the side of a mountain, whatever.
Yeah.
And you try and sow those seeds in the summer. Well, they're blowing everywhere. They're not going where they intended, but they're mixed with snow. So they are going to hit the area you want and stick.
Yes.
And then when it melts, it pulls them onto the ground. They stick because it's wet and they start growing.
Yeah, I absolutely love this idea. And I know at the end of the article that I was reading, they said hey, disclaimer, this hasn't fully been expanded yet.
Yep.
We don't know if this is going to work well in other places because I'm not quite sure about the weather in Norway. I'd imagine it's somewhat similar to what we experience. Yeah. I don't know if they have Chinooks like we do, so I don't know if this would work well here.
I think there's only something like 2 places in the world that get Chinooks, like Nepal region because of the Himalayas.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because you've got the warm air on the Indian Ocean and then the Himalayas and whatnot. I think it's somewhere over there. I'm not going to say any more than that because I know it's in that region, but I don't know exactly where.
Yeah.
I feel, if we take Norwegian wildflower seeds, they're probably not going to work here, but our wildflowers.
Sure. Why not?
And especially maybe the spring ones won't work because maybe, those spring flowers, they open, they drop the seed, they are already germinated by the time winter comes. But all of our late stage ones, some of the grasses, why wouldn't they work?
Oh my gosh. I could just my mind is just going wild thinking about all the applications. Like, can you imagine doing this, say, in your own backyard? Say you wanted like a wildflower garden and you wanted something that was a little no fuss. You could literally just do the same thing in your own backyard, couldn't you?
I never even thought of that, but why not?
Like, you're allowed to transform your entire front yard with...
I believe so. I don't know exactly what the rules are.
I guess it depends on where you live, right?
There are certain rules because if your yard gets too shaggy, the city can cut it down. And this is every municipality.
Okay.
This isn't a knock on Calgary.
Yeah.
I seem to remember we were talking about one like that. I remember one years ago, I think it was in Toronto, and one neighbor and this was well before many people were talking about it, and they were converting their yard into native, and the neighbor, it was a shared duplex, and the neighbor was complaining that they were neglecting their property, and it was lowering property values, and they're like, no, these are wild plants. Anyway. Okay, maybe if you don't do your whole yard, but you could certainly do some. Or we have some wildflower mixes that are low-growing ones. There's pollinator ones. If we spoke to our good friends Ecologic, they would know what seeds worked.
Oh, good point. Yep.
Yeah, Nathan, Kaelan, and Eric would be able to come up with a blend.
Yeah.
And then even if you don't have a snowblower, you go out in the middle of a snowfall and spread your seeds. They get instantly buried.
Yep.
Done. You've already done your spring planting.
Oh my gosh, like the idea just seems so simple. Like the fact that we haven't really thought about this until now and we live in snow country.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that breakthroughs like this are continuing to happen and we're continuing to learn new ways to incorporate, healthy ecosystems and whatnot. And hopefully that translates to our own backyards as well. Kind of makes the gardening game more exciting.
Yes, I think so, because when I first looked at the article and I was like waiting to, the seed has to be specially coded or the seed comes from, and not really a catch-22, but you're waiting to find like that hidden thing where you're like, it's not doable. It's not feasible. But it's like, we dump wildflower seeds into our snow cannons and just spread them. And you're like, cool.
That'd be cool for ski hills though, across like the Rocky Mountains. Yep. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if like Sunshine did that?
Yep. A lot of them have kind of cleared the area to make the ski runs and whatnot. And, how many times when you're driving through the mountains and you go, there's a ski hill because you see the ski runs. Well, that could be a pollinator passageway.
And then they could make money from honey.
Yep. And think about what you could do for the monarchs.
Oh we were talking about the monarch butterflies.
You track where the monarchs go. You take your snow cannons and you just build these huge, because you set one up and you just fire it down the center of the highway median. Yeah. So instead of it just being scruffy boulevard grass, now you have a wildflower bed that you planted. You did 8 kilometers in an afternoon. Yeah.
So easy, right? So easy. Not so much in our backyards for now, but we might be seeing a lot of this kind of popping up wherever you're listening from in the future years. I just want to be able to turn a snowman into a wildflower garden. Wouldn't that be cool?
Why did the snowman go shopping for carrots?
Why?
Because he wanted to pick his nose.
Stop!
You guys can have that one for free. That's my kid safe joke.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the helpful gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram @thehelpfulgardenerspod. Keep on growing, gardeners!